Hey, what's up guys? Kane here with XBLA fans, and I'm going to be giving you a quick taste of Masters of Anima from Focus Home Interactive, which is out now on Xbox One for $19.99. Now the game tells the story of Otto. He's kind of this new, almost apprentice in a sense, and he's learning to control the magic of Anima within the world Spark. And unfortunately what happens is, some evil dude comes and kidnaps his fiancée Anna, who happens to be an expert at all of this stuff. So unfortunately he's using her kind of to do some bad things, and you got to go fix it. You'll notice in this we are about a third of the way into the game. I wanted to be able to show you guys a little bit more depth to what happens in the game. So in this segment here, I actually already have 3 different units. You're seeing me do some basic puzzle gameplay, and that's kind of the pattern of how this game plays out. Is you're gonna do some fairly simplistic puzzle sequences, and then you're gonna travel through the level looking for collectibles, and then you'll hit a big combat sequence. So right here I'm actually gonna unlock my 4th unit type. These are the commanders. So I have kind of my grunt soldiers, I don't know what I was trying to say there. Brute, grunt, and mixed them both. But we've got those guys, then we've got our archers, and then we got these guys that kind of suck out anima and kind of create resources. So they almost work a lot like sunflowers and Plants vs. Zombies. It's pretty great. They're very, very useful because they can not only do that, but they can also heal you. And I'll talk about that in a little bit in the combat sequences. So like I was saying, we're about a third of the game through, I believe, because we've already collected the heart of Anna. We need to go rescue her mind and then rescue her body as well. I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler free as possible though, so we're not going to go too in depth into any of that and let you guys experience that for yourself. What I've played so far, I would say the voice acting and the plot is actually not bad. It's solid, and it's about what you'd expect for this kind of price range in a sense. The gameplay is a little bit like something like Pikmin or Overlord, and I mean that's definitely welcome in my book. It's kind of cool seeing that. There's a lot of different things you can do with the controls. You can control, specific units at a time. You can use that almost like a cursor, if you notice, out of my staff. That very much works a lot like a mouse cursor at times. So I can highlight specific units, I can recall everybody. You do have to do a decent bit of micromanagement, I would say, when we do get to the combat in particular, because you're going to need to make sure that you're keeping all your different units safe. They do rate you actually on how many units die. So at the end of each combat sequence, there are these kind of cool just ratings and stuff. So you can get up to an S. I think I've gotten all the way down to a D when I did incredibly poorly at the time. So like I'm saying, you got to kind of maneuver things around. So he's gonna roll, I got to make sure my units stay safe. At the end of each level, you can upgrade both yourself as Otto and then also the different units. So there's different perks and skills you can unlock. So if you noticed, my resource creatures kind of just immediately teleported away. That's one of the things I spent on them, because I very much want to keep those guys safe. So one thing that's kind of cool is you have this ability that you can use that will then trigger these special abilities in your units. And one of the nice things about the commanders is actually if you put those next to your units, they'll echo that out as well, and they'll cast it as much too. So you can use it on your resource anima. They'll heal you. You can put it on the the archers, and that causes them to do this stationary power shot. You can also do some cool things where you can actually cancel out enemy attacks with your just kind of axe soldier guys. So there's some cool stuff you can do. The combat's actually pretty in depth. You do have the ability to do damage yourself, and I think there's probably a way to kind of build your character to where he's a little bit stronger to do damage even more heavily there. I'll be honest, I'm pretty bad about remembering to attack, but I'm also even worse about remembering to dodge. So there's been a decent amount of enemy variety, I would say, but at the same time, a lot of the combat kind of stems from very similar concepts. What you're going to do is you're going to try to get at least a couple of those axe soldiers on any one guy to keep him from attacking your archers. Your archers actually have the ability to dodge if they're in grass. So you want to try to keep them in grass. Your resource dudes, they'll just, suck away at people, which is pretty much all you need to worry about. But like I said, you do have to make sure that when you see those kind of, marks where they're going to hit you, sometimes it'll be a laser beam, sometimes it'll be a character just rolling straight at them. Other times, they'll be just, I don't know, dropping bombs on top of you. If you're not paying attention, you'll lose a lot of units. If you notice down in the bottom right corner, you can see kind of a bunch of little dots. Those are basically the amount of energy I have to either create soldiers or use my special ability. That's what you want those, I don't know what they're called anymore, but resource creatures to kind of absorb the energy for you, because they're going to continue to get you more energy throughout the levels. In the earlier levels, you kind of had to be even more careful, but at the same time, at times, there were a lot of things you could just destroy to get more to kind of bail yourself out. I haven't seen as much stuff to just destroy to get, resources anymore, at the same rate I used to. So, now we're much more reliant on those units. So you definitely want to protect them. And this creature I'm fighting here is kind of interesting because he continues to break, and he breaks into a smaller version of himself each time. And the cool thing about this is we actually hadn't fought that biggest version of him yet. We'd only fought the smaller one. So, now we're kind of fighting stuff we've already fought. And it's kind of cool just seeing how they've evolved him, to a tougher unit without just making it completely the same. So there is some differences to him. And throughout the game, you're going to, be able to continue to summon an army. Eventually, you're able to hit up to about 100 units. I think the highest I could get right now is if I put all my people in the axe soldiers, because certain units do take up more slots than others. Commanders, you only get 1. When you do the resource guides, you'll get 2. I think the other ones you get 5 or 4. I cannot remember exactly. But I mean, the goal of the game is you're going to continue to travel through and you're going to try to save your fiance. You continue to level and get experience. There's a lot of different collectibles you can collect. And he's got these kind of evil golems you got to take out. There has been a decent level of variety in the stuff. The combat is rather similar so far between missions. Like I said, it is actually a little more micro heavy than you'd expect from just, hearing about the game at first. But I've enjoyed what I've been playing. I would definitely say this is worth taking a look at. If you like these type of games, it really does play like a mix of a mini RTS and something like Pikmin, which is just kind of random to say, but it's kind of cool. So the fights are pretty strategic, they are pretty action-packed, and you do have to make quick tactical decisions. And you definitely are going to have to, decide whether or not you want to summon more units or, use your power shots and do all that stuff wisely so that you don't cause too many units to die in the middle of a fight. At the end of this, you'll be able to see, kind of a rating on how well I was doing. If I recall correctly, I did great on, how many units I lost, but I did take forever in the battle, so I was probably a little slow on how much damage I was actually dishing out. Part of that is I have a terrible habit of never actually hitting him with my own staff, which you got to remember, you can walk up and actually do damage yourself, and you do a good bit. But anyways, guys, this is Kane with XBLA fans. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do check out our other quick tastes. We have a bunch of games that came out over the past week, and they've all been pretty cool, and I would highly recommend checking those out. Zero and I have been working pretty hard to get, new content up as quick as humanly possible for you guys. Please do like and subscribe. It helps us out a ton. If you have any questions about the game, feel free to ask them below in the comments, and I would be more than happy to answer anything I can. I streamed this the other day, so if you're looking for just, tons of gameplay footage and you want to get a better taste of it, you can definitely check that out on twitch.tv/XBLA fans. Anyways, guys, thank you so much, and later.